Hi, everyone, and welcome to Bold and Blissful Woman, how to connect with your feminine essence to create the extraordinary life and love you desire. The whole purpose of this summit is for women to find out how powerful, how strong, and capable they are to create the exact life that they desire. And now that we have been talking about how to connect with your vision and how to bring it to life, I thought it was really important to talk about money because sometimes we feel like trapped around money. We think that we're not powerful around it and we think that it's something outside of our control. So that's why I wanted to invite somebody who's really special for me, like
hmm
Sherina Mayani. Sherina Mayani is the first person to introduce me to the concept of money is energy. And that is a concept that has completely transformed my life. I am witnessing her teachings and everything that she has taught me so far, like in this day of my life. And I thought it would be really beneficial for everyone to really know and hone in their power. So, welcome, Sharina.
Hi, I'm so
How,
glad to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here. I honestly think that you are a mindset expert and you help women to create money in a very fun way. So, first of all, I would like for you to introduce yourself to the audience. What is it that you do? What brought you into this path? And just share a little bit about yourself.
Awesome, Nicole. First of all, I just want to thank you for doing this awesome summit. I know the women out there are so thanking you. So, first of all, thanks to you and for having me.
You're
So,
welcome.
money, I guess, yeah. So, I guess there's so many questions there. So, first of all, I have been doing this for a year and a half now. My name is Sherina Mayani, as you guys know, and I'm a life and business coach, and I support women to to help them create and grow their coaching businesses. And I support them by really supporting them with their mindset, their energy, their money blocks, helping them create clients, the right strategy for them to create this beautiful business that will set them free. And yeah, I've been doing this for a year and a half now, and I've now really been focused on working on the blocks that we have on money. Because as I remember, we spoke about before, like about money being energy. And it's really interesting how money blocks many of us women. We don't want to see it. We're like, no, that's not for us. That's to this, that's to that. But it's really the key, especially in our feminine, right? We gotta have a beautiful relationship with money in order to have a beautiful and blissful life,
Exactly.
right?
So I love what you said. Like what could you explain to the audience what are money blocks and how do they work
Great.
and how can we start just
Yes.
like shifting them?
Yeah, and before we go there, let's talk about money. What is money really, right? Money, as Nicole mentioned earlier, is just energy. And it's not just any energy, it's neutral energy. Many of us have like weird energy with money, and that's because we have energy with money.
Mhm.
Not money has a weird energy with us, rather, we have that energy towards money. But money is just energy, and the more money we have, it just shows us our feelings and emotions of money. And as a woman, we all have emotions, feelings, and triggers, and this and that, as feminine empowered women. And it's really important to have that relationship with money because if we have less or more, or the way we feel towards money is crucial because that's really what defines us, right? As women, we need money. We desire money to be the woman we desire to be because we need those resources, the support in our lives, in our business. Business is to be the woman we desire to be in this world and to fulfill our purpose, right? And to live our blissful life. And so money blocks basically is when you don't feel good about money. When there's
Okay.
something, a thought trigger in your mind, when you think, oh my God, I need to pay the bill, and you feel bad in your body, in your energy system, that is a money block. So whenever you don't feel good about money, and many women I see that have beautiful goals and they want to do this business, that, and they just want to create this awesome life. Yet when you talk to them about money, they freak out, they get scared, they get triggered, they become closed, and it's a topic that has a lot of emotions involved, right? So all these emotions about that's the money blocks, and that's what I work and support them to release, so they can build a business, build a coaching business of their dreams. So that's what I get clear on doing.
Awesome. Could you share
Yeah.
with us? And I definitely agree, right? Because money brings up a lot of sometimes fear because we think it's outside of our
Mm,
control. Another thing that I notice as well is kind of like money at the end of the day, it supports us, right? So it's sort
yeah.
of like a masculine energy, has a masculine energy to it. And how do we allow ourselves to be supported, whether it's the universe, God, etc. It's just about allowing ourselves to receive, right? So I know that sometimes receiving even greater money, whether women are in their 9 to 5 or they're starting their business, it's a concept that we have to work on in allowing ourselves to receive. So could you talk about how you started to allow yourself to receive more support or money
Mm.
to build your business? How did that look like for you when you were doing that transition?
And that's a great question, Nicole. I think for me it was just getting real on how I really felt about money. So for me, my story was like I was super dependent on money with my father, like my dad, my family, and my boss.
Hmm.
There's always like these big masculine structures and people and figures in my life, authority figures, and I felt like money, I depended on them. And like the thing I had was like, because he pays this, I owe him. Or he controls me now. Right?
Hmm.
So that was my story. So in the beginning, it was really getting real about how I truly feel about money and not ignoring it, not being like, oh, I'm not going to talk about money, being like real, like, you know what, money triggers me. Like, it's funny because I would have never spoken about money like as I'm doing now today with all of you guys here. Like, a year and a half ago, I would have been like, money was the last thing I wanted to talk about, honestly. It used to bring so much stuff for me, so much. Like, I still work on my money stuff. I still, every, like, and I don't know if you know this, but like every week I have like a money date in which I sit down, look at my finances, and just see how I feel. And I realized these triggers like, wow, this payment came late and it triggered me. This happened and I had to pay this and I was unhappy about it and it triggered me. What's that about? Or I'm noticing this pattern in my finances and I'm paying things late, or I'm not doing things, I'm not investing where I want to. So for me, the key in the beginning was really sitting down and getting real with my feelings about money and getting real about them and realizing what was triggering me. What was those limiting beliefs about money that I was holding true, right? And then starting to just see it, being aware of it. And like sometimes just awareness, like when you see money and when you see how you feel about money, you're aware of it, it shifts the energy to it. That thought like shifts because you're putting it in light, right? When it was in the dark, it used to like control you. But when you start putting things into light, that's when it starts shifting.
Okay, perfect.
So for me, it was just getting clear on that. Yeah.
Perfect. No, thank you. That was really powerful. A thing that came up for me was, what happens, when, at least for me personally, and I've seen it with my clients and everything, when you first find out that you are responsible of your reality around money, I sometimes see that it's easier to accept. Yeah, in your love life, it's easier to accept, in terms of what's going on with your family, etc. But it's like sometimes I see women like hit a wall saying no, like that's not exactly true. So can you tell us about like your own turning point when you started to realize that money was simply energy, that you could shift it, that you could attract to your life, better paying jobs, better paying income. How did that look for you? What was your turning point where you realized, when you were kind of skeptical but you were curious, but then you realized, hey, this is the truth? Could you tell us a little bit about that, how that looked for you? How was that realization for you?
Yeah. It was really just for me. It was like when I read this book, right? Like I was reading, what was it, Science of Thinking Rich, and I read it before, but like I think it was something I knew, but I read again and I was like, Shh, oh my god, it's energy.
Mm.
And like how it's funny, like we gotta listen to the same thing over and over, like thoughts are things, we create our reality, our love, like all of it, like it's all our thoughts. So like, and then like realizing, oh, I do create my reality, and then it's like, oh, I created this. Wow, and a month ago I was thinking about this. Wow, and like just noticing those things and being like, wow, I was so scared about this happening and it happened. Or I was scared of this money issue happening and it happened. Or like whatever. And I was noticing these things of like whatever I put energy to, like whatever thoughts and feelings I put towards a certain thought or a certain belief, it was manifesting in my life. So that was like being aware and like taking time on my own, right? Journaling, meditating, being aware of these smaller things, being like, wow. And then like realizing, okay, if I was able to do that, I can change that. I can be like, now I have more than enough money and I can go travel and I have money in my wallet, always, always, always. And then I started doing that, thinking that, forcing myself in the beginning to think that. It was really challenging to do that.
Forcing yourself to really think what
To
exactly?
think positive about money and to think like, because I'm honest, like even now I'll be like, oh shit, what if I don't, sorry for the word, but like,
It's okay.
what if like next month I don't have to pay rent? The thoughts do come up still because they were so ingrained in me. And now whatever they come up, it's like cancel, clear, delete. There's always more than enough, and when I need it, it's gonna be there. And like that's what I started doing, like religiously, like very fiercely. Like every time my thoughts being clear, like a bill came, I used to notice how I'm feeling. Relax, Sherina. It's okay. You have. And noticing and being aware of what I did have, and like sometimes we don't even realize what we have. So like for me, it was just like being aware, to be honest.
Being aware of your thoughts and how you felt around
Yes.
money.
Money, exactly. The thoughts and the vibration and the belief I had around money. So the
So,
feelings I had about it as well.
because that's really powerful, right? It's not just
Yes.
reinforcing or changing or creating an affirmation. It's about saying the affirmation with a certain emotion attached to it.
Exactly. If not, it doesn't work. Like the mantra doesn't work. If you're like, I have more than enough, you got to feel it in your bones. And if you don't feel it in your bones, why are you not feeling it? When you ask yourself that question, it'll give you the answer what's blocking it maybe. And that's when you got to do that inner work. Like I use lots of techniques, as you are familiar with, to really support with that. Because if that's not done, and you know this, right? If that's not done, like I wouldn't be able to build the business I built today,
Yeah.
to be honest. Like 6-figure business I've been able to build and the income, like I still am able to create. Sometimes it's funny, it's like every month I'm like, oh God, I won't reach my goal, I won't reach my goal. And then in the end of the month, I'm like, wow, I didn't have to work that, like I did work a lot and I made it happen. But I like there's this threshold now, like this is like the like income that I have, and it's like, well, that's my normal. But it was working my vibration, my financial vibration to reach that. And now I realize it doesn't matter what happens every month. I end up reaching that income level always. It's funny. But it's like I did that work and then now I'm continuing like to do the next level of income that I want to achieve. And then you do that. So it's like a continuing, I feel it's a continuing process, especially because we're in a society that it programs us to think so negatively, right? Around money, these programmings, like you cannot be a millionaire in 3 years, or you cannot make 6 figures, you gotta work really hard. Like all these beliefs are not really true. Like they're not true.
So how would you say, like, what's the percentage, like, around thoughts versus actions to create money or to attract money?
So important. I think it's first thoughts. And more than thoughts, it's the vibration. So feeling and vibration. Because you can be
What do you
thinking
mean
I
by
have
vibration?
so like the way you feel about money. So
Mhm.
if you are thinking I'm good about money, I'm good about money, you're taking the action to create money in your life and in your business. You're following the coaching, you're following a specific program strategy, but you're vibrating weird and you're feeling weird and you're not maybe being aware of it, that is gonna like block it. And I forced myself to take action, and the results I get when I'm not vibrating correctly are so bad. And I know this, right? I teach this and it's like, oh God, Shina, go back. Focus on your vibration, amp it up, and I'll actually share with you something. I don't know if I've shared this with you before, but I now measure my vibration, like
You
my money
do.
vibe. And I've been measuring it since last year. I've not like shared it so much, but I've been measuring it since last year, and I've noticed a pattern. I've noticed my money vibration is up when I'm having fun and feeling good. And whenever I take action, like when I post something in that energy of excitement, I get responses. People message me, I want to work with you. How does this happen? I get discovery calls, all these things like in my business, right? When I'm not feeling good and I take all the actions, you know how they say, do list building, do this, do that, or do get a whatever you got to do, right, to make the money. Now, I don't create as much money as I would if I were like in the other space. So now I take it like that's my. So you asked, right? Your question was thoughts and actions. Thoughts are 90%. The thought, feeling, and vibration, 90%. If not, the action does not, for me, hasn't worked. And I've seen it with my clients. Clients come to me overworked. I usually work with new coaches or people who are deciding to start their coaching business, like very, very new, like in their first 6 months or before even starting. And it's like, if that's not set, that's a foundation. If that's not set, it's like, and I have people like 2, 3 years in the business come to me like, I do everything. I've done all the programs, all the business programs. It's not working. It's like, look, the way you're feeling, you're impatient. Look at this vibration. And then we do work on that. And things shift. She's like, wow, I was sleeping, I got a client. Like I was just
Yeah.
having fun and I got a client.
Can you
That's the way it's meant
expand
to
more
be.
on that? Because I know that sometimes what happens is that you are facing this wall. You're like, I'm going to take this leap, whether I'm going to create any sort of business. I'm scared, and it's about shifting it into making it an adventure, but like a loving adventure where it's fun. Because and I want you to, could you please explain more about how essentially what is the question would be, is there any purpose to analyzing negative thoughts or emotions around money when you're in this step? Like sometimes you recognize, oh, I have this block. right? I get anxious around money. Oh, I'm a big spender. Like whenever I'm shopping, I just like want to spend all of it. So is there a purpose of like over analyzing it or taking too much time? What do you do in that moment when you know that okay, you are a big spender, right? Do you make yourself run for it? What do you do? Like, do you continue on the path of how can I feel better about this and then move on? What do you do with those negative thoughts? Is it good to focus yourself a little bit more on them? What do you do when you have those negative thoughts? Like, do you shift them or do
Great
you focus on
question.
the positive?
I think we gotta focus on the negative first.
Okay.
It sounds very like you gotta be positive, but why are you telling me to focus on negative? Because we're so negative inside, like our subconscious has so many limiting beliefs of money. If we don't put light on it, it's not gonna go away. And then what happens is that many people do world consciousness work and they're just thinking positive, reading books, and it's not working. And I used to always do that before. And I'm like, why is it not working? Why am I still feeling bad? I'm reading every day. I'm doing everything every day. Why am I not feeling good? Why is the things not shifting for me? And it's like, if you have like a trash, right? Let's say you have dirt, like, garbage in the trash can. If
Mhm.
you keep on putting now like positive or like nice stuff in it, at the end of the day, it's gonna be more trash than positive. Like, you'll be able to put positive, but you're putting down the garbage. The garbage is still there.
Mhm.
If you want to have a nice can with beautiful stuff and not garbage, you gotta take the garbage. Oh, there's this broken glass, throw it. There's this broken this thing, throw it. Take it out and then fill it out. So
Mhm.
I see people doing the opposite. I see people teaching this about like positive, 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 but the garbage is still there. What about the garbage?
Mhm.
How can you have a beautiful can, beautiful stuff, if the garbage, take out the garbage, let it go, and then focus on the positive, and then build from the positive. But what happens is that people are vibrating, they're positive, they're doing the mantras, hypnosis, all these things, but then their can is half positive, but then the trash is like all squeezed down, and they still are vibrating that. They don't know they are.
Hmm. That's
You know?
so powerful. And how much time do you recommend somebody to focus on the negative? Like on a practical sense, like how does this look like to focus on the negative and then focus on the positive on a practical way?
Great question. Until you don't feel bad about it anymore. So, for example, let's say the limiting belief of spending more. You notice you spend too much, and that triggers you. You feel bad when you think about it. Work on it. Do techniques like I teach a lot of techniques like tapping, like just being aware of it, journaling about it, and like just releasing it, and then switching it. Do it until you feel good, until you think like, wow, I'm a spender, and then you don't feel no trigger. That's when you're ready to move on. But if you still feel triggered about a certain belief, you've not done the work to clear it yet. You got to go back and clear it because it's still there. If the
Exactly.
can is still in your can, I mean, like, if let's say a broken glass is still in your can, in your can or whatever, you will still feel it there until you fully throw it, and then you think about it, you won't feel it because you know it's not there. So I think it's when you stop feeling it, and I think like there's one thing like being aware of it and spinning about it and being like, I have this block, but like doing the work to clear it. Like, okay, I'm ready to clear. Universe, help me clear this. Shift it. These are the feelings I feel. Like, feminine work, like crying about it if you have to, writing about it, like tearing the paper, or like doing tapping, breath work, all these things. There's so many techniques, really, right? Coaching helps a lot because it really just puts you aware on these emotions that you didn't even know you had, right? And putting it out there. And then once it's there, once it's out, and then you think about it. Like, I had triggers before. For example, one of my biggest trigger before was like, what was like the more I can. It used to always trigger me when I used to think about it. I used to feel bad, when I used to see people working really, really. So I noticed whenever people used to not work much and make lots of money, I used to get so triggered by those people. I used to be like, what the?
Yeah.
Why are they? And I realized that triggers me because I have that belief. So I did tapping, I did the work, my limiting belief, work, all of that. And then when I used to look at people and they used to not work and make lots of money, I was like, wow, it doesn't trigger me anymore. It doesn't trigger me. And that's when I knew I could let that go and like move forward.
How did that shift for you occur in the sense that it doesn't trigger you? Like, did you shift your thought around it now that when you saw people not working a lot and making a lot of money, did that inspire you instead of making you feel, I don't know, whether it was resentment or anything? Like, how did that thought change in your mind when it didn't trigger you?
So the thought changed. Like, I started thinking, like, wow, now she's showing. Like, for example, I have a very good friend who does that. Like, she works nothing and she gets so much money. And it's like, in the beginning, I was like, wow. I realized it triggered me. I told her, like, look, this is actually triggering me, but it's good because I am able to release this. So it changed when I started thinking, the thought that I started thinking that now doesn't trigger me, or I think when I think about that situation is like, wow, she's showing me what is possible for me. Like you can actually work 2 times a week and make this much money a month. That's so cool. And then I was feeling excited about it. So you see, I was feeling good about it. But if I wouldn't have felt like released the negative feelings I had, I would have felt good, and but I would have still felt weird and bad about it. You know?
Okay.
You know when you still feel that resentment and jealous, you're like, I want to be like you. I'm so happy about you, but inside you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you got to work that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So you mentioned around working it, you mentioned tapping. Can you mention a little bit of what tapping is? How does it look like? And how it has helped you change your perception around money or situations that would normally trigger you?
Yes, I know we both use that technique a lot,
Yes,
right? I
yes,
love it.
tapping is
We've
the
done
best.
so much. We've done so much of that. I love it. Tapping is basically like acupuncture, only that we don't use needles. So tapping is basically there's certain meridian points in your body. It's energy work. So basically, you put certain pressure in certain points of your meridian, and it releases energy of your nerves, like any energy that is stuck there in your system, like so your nervous system. So whenever we're feeling triggered, it's really our nervous system feeling triggered. The emotion is there. So when we tap, we're releasing that energy that is not serving us. Because then what happens is we're vibrating with that energy and stuck energy in there, and emotion in there, and then we're recreating things that will trigger that emotion. So when we release that, we no longer trigger or create situations in our life in which we'll like create that for ourselves, that emotion for ourselves. So yeah, and I love using it. I use it with my clients all the time when it's needed. When it's not, I don't. But it really helps us like clear our mindset. Like even though I feel like you do it and you really get real with your emotion. In coaching, like we get real in our emotion. When we're talking to our coach, it's like, wow, this is the way I feel. When do we really do that? So tapping is also a way to really get real on how you feel and really go deep, so you can clear all of those emotions and feelings that are coming up. So when something happens again, you don't feel that again.
Exactly. I love that.
Then you can start feeling. It's like cleaning the garbage. I love tapping because it cleans the garbage out.
So basically, it's a sequence that helps you shift your perception from negative to positive around a
Yes.
specific situation.
And it can be used in anything, right? Like obviously money, because that's what like one of my thing, right? Making money, getting clients. But also it can on love life, on anything. Tapping is beautiful because you can use it on anything. I've used it in my personal relationships, guilt, any personal emotions, things with my family, mother story, all these things I've used tapping.
Exactly. So it's kind
So
of
it's really good.
scary. Like when you're at first thinking about whether you're going to leave your job, you're going to embark creating your business, and when it's scary for you, it's amazing to use tapping because it helps
Exactly.
you to eliminate the anxiety, the stress, the overwhelm, the fear of the unknown. It helps you take that added step, right? And it gives you clarity of purpose too, because you always connect with your vision, which I think is also important to mention. And I swear by tapping, guys. O sea, it's
It's
just,
amazing, yeah.
it's the best. It's the best thing. It's one of the first things that helped me completely to shift that story, and you know this. So
Yeah, it's
um,
crazy.
I wanted to see what else. I wanted to ask you something really important. So, how important is it for you to be supported while you do you're starting your entrepreneurial journey or something, whether it's with a coach or whether you have like a group of people where you support each other, whether it's a mastermind group? How important was that for you in the beginning? Because before you did coaching, you were in a group, you were doing amazing other amazing things. So how is that important to keeping your vibration high, and how is that important for you to really achieve your goals? Because when I first met you, like we were in this group and we would meet and we would talk about energy, because the outside world will
Mm.
tell you that you're crazy for thinking all this sort of
They've
stuff.
told us that already, haven't
Yeah, yeah.
they?
They think that we're crazy, but that's where you have to have your support group. So how did that look for you in the beginning when you started, and how important is it for you? Do you still have a support group?
Nicole, it's everything. It's my number one. With no support group is not like for me nothing. If it wouldn't have been for that, I would have not been where I am today, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Like my support group, and even today, it's like my number one priority. For me, my support group is like having my coach, having my mentor. Sometimes I'll even have two mentors and coaches. One focus business strategy, and one focus work only. Sometimes I'll even have two coaches at a time. But that's like my crucial. That's like my number one now because I realize how important it is. even being in a mastermind group for me is so important to be in a sisterhood. Because for me, it was like in the beginning, for those of you who will now get to know my story, and well, it's like I had to like literally divorce my family, right? So in the beginning, I didn't have that support. Like, and when you're going your entrepreneur journey, if your family doesn't understand, your friends, your best friend, your boyfriend, maybe even, it can be very challenging. So finding like also a coach is great, but a mastermind, a sisterhood where you can like share your thoughts, your feelings, someone who's going through what you're going was crucial. So that was my other thing. And also having a mastermind partner, someone who's in the same journey, going through the same thing, and we can support each other, like a sister kind of. For me, that's been like the crucial, and also supporting myself with amazing colleagues, friends, and like going on. I think also the important piece of being in an entrepreneur journey is also having friends. Because in the beginning, I forgot about it, to be honest. And as women, we need to nurture that. So I make it a point like to keep in touch with my friends, people who I really care about and respect and really want to be close to. Keep in touch with them, help them, and like be in that energy. It's like being in the vibration. Because we spoke about this like in many times before about like how we are the average of our five best friends, right? In
And
the
this is even
beginning,
financially too.
everything like our income is the average of our five best friends. So in the beginning, obviously my friends were not like the people who I was hanging out with were just thinking about partying, going out with boys and stuff like that. And I was like, that's not what I wanted to do. This was like early on, right? So like 5 years ago, 6 7 years ago, and drinking and stuff. And I was like, this is not me. So I made my coach my best friend in the sense that I was spending a lot of time with her, following her, listening to her, stuff like that. I made Napoleon Hill my best friend. I made like these people my best friends. And when I say best friends, it's like not best friends like I'm their best friend, they're my best friend, rather the people who I spend the most time with. So I was really paying attention to who am I spending most time with. And it doesn't mean that that person has to be someone who's way along the game from you, not at all. But it has to be someone who has at least the same vision as you. So for me, like I am very, very particular who I invite to things, who I speak to. Like I make sure they're people who like are at least in the same vision, going there. I think that's the beauty of the summit. Like we're all here together. All of you guys are coming here together, and like a beautiful opportunity to like get to know Nicole more, like someone who can really guide you, help you, support you, and be that for you. Be your best friend if you need to. Because that's so important. Like all of us you can be listening to this training every single day and we can be your best friends, but that makes a big difference in your life.
It does. I
Remember?
have
Yeah.
several testimonies around that because I think it's very crucial. At first, there will be people, whenever you share them, that you want to go for your own business or that you're, thinking all these sort of thoughts, that thoughts become your reality, and they will feel uncomfortable around that. They will have their own triggers around it, and they will try to keep you where you currently are. And it's not about pointing fingers at them. It's about just, in my way of seeing it, just blessing them and moving on. But taking that step, it's the unknown. So you must have that support right next to you. Somebody that's willing to do that
Crucial.
leap with you,
Crucial.
or that's
Number
on the other
one.
side and tells you, hey, it's safe. Come here.
It's gonna
It's
be a good
crucial.
someone you feel, and someone that you resonate with. That's so important. It doesn't matter. Like as long as you resonate, it's someone who lets you believe. Why not? I feel like part of my success is because my coach said, "Of course you can do it." I remember being in a call in my first calls with her, and she was like, I shared with her my goal, and she was like, "Of course you're gonna do it." And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, you can leave your job in a few months." And I was like, "Really?" And guess what, Nicole? I did.
How fast was it
I
for you?
So I started doing my process and all like January. I officially started my business in March, you could say, because I was just like researching and all in the beginning months. March is when I really started and like launched my program and stuff. June I was out of my job. 3 months in I was out of my job.
Wow. And that's amazing. And I think that's very crucial. When you really do the work, which is work on your
Mm,
thoughts and feeling good around money, you will see the
yes.
shift. Like I have clients who have already started doing the work. They haven't quit their job yet, but they're doing it in a way that it's like flowing in the sense that they
Feels good
are
to
already
them.
exactly, and they are already making money, like thousands of dollars in their own company, but they haven't left the company that they're working for, and they will do it when they feel ready. There's no formula to
Right
it, but
time.
just work on
Yes.
your mindset. So
Exactly.
you mentioned something about how supportive your coach was. What happens when a woman feels like her desires are not in the cards for her, or like, it's easier for that person to say, they were supported or they were raised in another way. What advice do you have for the woman that's causing some sort of separation in her mind between, another person that she admires? Sometimes it's easy to say, that another person got success because, things were rigged in their favor. How do you help women like that are going through that shift in mind? Like, how do you help them have that shift?
So just to get clear, have the shift that everyone's in our own journey, right?
Yeah, like everybody's in their own journey, but that you are capable of doing it too. Like,
Yeah.
not separating yourself from others that are actually
Got
making
it.
it and making yourself feel less, or that you can't
Yeah.
do it. How do you change that vocabulary, or those thoughts, or
Yeah.
those emotions?
I think first of all, it's like if it's showing up in your reality. So if you and your reality are noticing your friends, who are creating all this money and doing this stuff, it's like the universe is showing you what's possible for you. That's the only reason why it's showing up so much in your life. And for me, when it shows up a lot, I'm like, I get excited. I'm like, I don't get like, before I used to get really jealous and be like, oh my god, she's making money, not me. Like, I'll be honest here, like I always feel that, right? We're women.
Yeah.
But then now it's like, wow, she got a client. That means my client is on its way.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she got a new apartment. Oh my god, my apartment is on its way. Oh my god, in the beginning, she left her job. Oh my god, I'm excited. My turn is coming. Because when it was showing up in my reality, it was showing me that it was possible for me. And I do want to make something really clear. All of us have our own journey. I don't like this thing, and there's this thing going on a lot, like she did it in 6 months, now you gotta do it in 5 months. Or if she did it in 6 months, you gotta do it in 6 months. You got everything. I think everyone has their own timing, and everyone has to respect their timings. And everyone here in this world are here to learn some specific lessons that our soul chose to learn. That's what I believe. So if you don't achieve something in the time I achieved, it doesn't mean that you are right or wrong. It just means you are in the perfect place where you're meant to be to get that lesson that your soul wanted you to get in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And when we own that, when we own our journey, we own, like, because sometimes it can be a race as well. It can be like, oh my god, who's going to make 6 figures faster? Who's going to leave the job faster? Who's going to reach there faster? It's like, no, we all are here to support each other. If someone needs a support from someone more time than whatever it is, but we all, each and every one of us, are in our own journey. And when we really own that and own our journey, look, it's taking more time to get clients for me. That person did it in a week and she got 10 clients. I'm taking a year to get clients, but you know what? I'm going to own my journey. It's taking me a year or 2 years to leave my job, or a month to leave my job, or whatever it is. Own it, because if you're not leaving your job yet, there's a reason. There's a beautiful reason about it. You got to learn that lesson. And when you start living from that space, like, this is my journey, this is my life, I get to create it, not being like, she did it in a year, oh my god, and to like follow through and compete, that's when life becomes more fun.
It's competitive energy at the end of the day,
Yeah.
don't you think?
And I think a lot of it is there. I think that's why I'm feeling pulled to mention it today. It's like, people are like, and you hear me like, Sherina left in 3 months. Don't feel like, oh god, now you need to leave in 3 months. Not at all. It's like, you follow your journey, and you follow when it feels right to you. Maybe some people leave before they make money in their business. They just take that leap. Some people cannot do that. And it's not like you're wrong because you cannot make the leap and you don't believe in yourself. It's like, if your gut is saying stay, follow your gut. And that's like my message, like, follow your butterfly. It's like following your gut. Follow your journey. And the women I work with, it's like, I don't want to help you create what I created. I want to help you create what you want to create for you in your life, what's right for you. Let's find something that works for you. Because like in business as well, there's so many ways of doing business. Not all the ways and strategies and tactics and formulas work for everyone. It doesn't. I try to force my formulas on my clients. They don't work. They have to figure out their own formula, And I think as a coach, it's like really, and people listening, it's like, if you want to do your business and create this life, it's like, find your formula for success. Get pieces that excite you from each and every one, and like take it on, and if you see a lot of people making lots of money, it's like, wow, it's just showing you what is available for you. Now, when you do it, how you do it, and by when you do it, and how much you do it, that is obviously in your journey. Trust your journey, and the more happy you are, the more feel good now you are, the more vibrate high you are. You're vibrating high. Trust me, the faster it'll be, and you'll get those things, and it won't even matter when you get them, Nicole, because you'll be so happy anyways. You'll be like, oh, I made 100,000, but I'm so happy with my life anyways.
Exactly.
That's the beauty, right? Like living from that space, it's like, it doesn't matter if you have those 5 clients or not, or you left your job or not, you feel good anyways. And when you work that other way around, like feeling good and then getting the stuff, it happens automatically.
Yeah. So basically, what I got from what you were saying is that trust your desire and trust the
Yes.
timing and the how.
And your gut. If your gut saying do this and your other person saying do that, no, follow your gut.
Because your gut is your
Follow your
intuition.
gut. Yes, and I know you teach a lot about that. It's like that's our radar. That's like I say, follow your butterflies. Follow your butterflies. Don't listen to me. Now even I'm like, what do you want to do? I can support you in many ways, and I'm not going to teach you. If it's in service to you, I'll teach you how I did it. And if that works, you can follow my formula. But let's find your formula. What is your excitement? Because each and every one of us have our own thing. We
Mm-hmm.
cannot. And I see a lot of people like just copying, copying, copying. It's like find your own thing, do your own work. Your work might be like doing money work for 3, 4 years. I don't know, and then making money. I don't know. Like even me, I did a lot of work before even starting my business. So there's so many things that go with it. So you got to keep in mind the journey that you have.
No, definitely. I love that. So basically, if we were creating a formula, it would be trust your desire, trust the how, trust the timing, and trust your gut, basically.
And focus on feeling good now.
Yeah.
Always in the
Always
journey.
feeling good. Just like asking yourself, what is good about this situation right now? What am I learning? How is this helping me? How am I grateful for this?
Grateful, yes.
So, which brings me to gratitude, right? Before we move into gratitude, I wanted to ask you, and then I think it would be good to end with gratitude. So, before we go there, what are like three or the four more common mistakes that women make around their mindset around money, or like the limiting beliefs that they have around money? And can you give us any tips on how they can shift it?
Great, great. And that's actually in the gifts I'm giving away.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's all about that. It's exactly that. So it's great. It's like perfect. So one of the biggest mindset limiting belief I see women have is like, I need to work really hard to make lots of money. Like they measure time with money, and that's not true. And the way to shift that is like really surrounding yourself by women who are showing you the opposite. Because we grow up and we see so many women and people in our life like working really hard. Like the people who used to make more money when we were growing up were the lawyers who used to work really 12-hour days and stuff like that. And that's how we get ingrained with that. But when we let that go and be like, oh, when we surround ourselves with people who are like, wow, she's working 2 days a week, she's making $50,000 a month, that's possible. And you just allowing yourself to see what's possible. That's one of the biggest. And there's so many. There's one that is also like as women, I noticed like us taking on like the emotions of everyone. We want to like feed everyone. So money block is like one of the money blocks is like we want to like just like please everyone without pleasing ourselves. And that's a block because it's like if you don't please yourself, how are you going to make money? Your energy's not going to be vibrating right. How are you helping people as well? You won't be even helping people well because it's like you're not. The other thing also that I want to mention is that I see a lot of people like want to get into business to save people's lives and to be of service. It's like, yes, but you be of service by making money yourself. You be of service by you having the resources you need to be you, to feel dressed, to feel good, to have support. And that's the way you make a difference in the world, right? It's like this thing of like, I just want to do free service. It's like, okay, awesome. But if you are doing business, you got to be financially, emotionally well. If not, you cannot help someone else. So even if I go and give free sessions, like there's no point of it. It's like that's like a money block I see many women have. Like they just want to help and help and help, and it's like help yourself and help yourself by making money. Sometimes the most spiritual thing that you can do for yourself is do your business and make money for yourself, right? Like
Yeah,
you
it's
know
a
what a difference
spiritual
it's made.
journal. It's a
It,
spiritual journey. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have faith, but way bigger than you normally would because the result is very tangible in this time moment.
it's the best spiritual gift you can give yourself to be financially independent and feel good about money. It's the best spiritual gift. It's like you want to be spiritual, do your money work.
Do your money work, right?
Feel good. It makes a huge difference, Nicole. Huge.
What I basically got from that is just about something that I normally like work on is I think the answer to everything is simply going within. Like to measure your success, you can't look outside because the world,
Mm,
everybody's creating their
I
own
like that.
reality, right?
I like that.
And you
Yeah.
only have to go within, right? It's the only way that you master yourself and that you integrate, your new beliefs and all that stuff because you can't allow yourself to just be it's just an overall confusing message whenever you see somebody creating this reality, somebody creating this other reality, and you're trying to use that as a point of reference. But no, like you create your reality with your own thoughts. Before we end, I wanted to talk about a little bit on gratitude and how important that is. Because I remember when I first started to do this work and even talking with you before, you would tell me like, Nicole, be grateful. And I'll be like, well, Sherina, I am already grateful. Like, I think I'm grateful. And everybody thinks that they're grateful. But what you actually meant was that it was a deeper practice of gratitude, a more practical way of practicing gratitude, like journaling about it. What are you grateful about today? Like those were the first few exercises that we did together. Can you talk about how being grateful right now helps in calling in more money?
It's the crucial. It's crucial because it's like it's the law of the universe. If you're not grateful, okay, and the thing is that when we are vibrating in the sense of like in the energy space of like I need, I need. What is it telling the universe that you don't have? But when you take a moment and shift that, like I am so grateful for this, you're vibrating in the sense of like I have this, I have this. The universe will give you more of what you have. So if you take a moment right now, for those of you who want to get more money and really create more financial abundance for yourself in your life, think about three things you're grateful for. But and the thing about money, don't be grateful. Like, yes, be grateful about relationships and like spiritual things, support, and like things you have. But for money, be grateful about money. Be grateful about that payment that came in. Be grateful about the apartment you were able to rent because of the money that came in. Be grateful for that car you were able to put gas in. So the physical things, because that's what you want to create more, right? You want to create more money to do these things, or the coach you have because you're able to pay her, like stuff like that. So you be grateful for these things. And it makes a huge difference because then you start vibrating from the space of I have money, I have money. And one of the practices I give my clients, like to vibrate and want to attract more money, it's like always take a percentage of money and keep it with yourself. Or like collect money in your wallet. Like always have money. So whenever you open your wallet, it's like you have money. You always know in the back of your mind, I always have money. Because I see a lot of women have this habit of never carrying cash. And like I'm so against it. Like in the beginning I used to kind of be that woman. Or I mean if I had cash, I used to just spend it all and never have cash kind of thing. But I'm like, I always make it a point. I have to have a minimum of like $100 and $100 bill. And that makes me feel so amazing. My account can go in zero or negative, but I always feel I have money because I always have money in my wallet.
Yeah.
I always have money. And like sometimes I'll go and like when I want to feel more abundant, I'll go to the bank and like take a $20 note, change it to a dollar bill and get 20 notes of a dollar and open my wallet and feel that I have. And I'm grateful for having this. I'm grateful for money. I'm grateful for this note. I'm grateful. I'm grateful like for what I have. It creates a lot of money in my life. Like because you start vibrating from the space of I have money. What happens? You have more money. That's
Exactly.
crucial. Never put yourself in zero. And like that's very important because many of us can be in that lack mode. Never be in the lack mode. Always have, and practice that mindset of having.
And
Not I need
noticing.
money. I have money, and I am having more. You see the difference? Like I need money. I want money. Cancel, clear, delete. I have money. I have this laptop, I have this glass, I have this water, I have my rubber band, my necklace, I have this. This is money, you know? So I'm grateful for what I have. That's the shift. So like being grateful in that sense, and like obviously gratitude, there's so much ways, but for money and financial and like resources you want to manifest more, be like specific. Then you can be grateful of like the amazing life you have, the relationship, that's like more untangible. But for to manifest more money, be grateful for tangible. Like be grateful for your laptop. Be grateful for those $2,000 that bought you that laptop. That's what
Yes.
you gotta be grateful for.
Yes. Be grateful for everything, even
And
like
everything in life.
surprise discounts, all of it. Just be
Yes.
grateful in that process when you're building your business. Believe me, being grateful is a trick. Sometimes what I do is that whenever, my mind starts to go crazy town and whenever I'm trying to reach a new level, I just like cut it. I don't pay attention to it anymore and I just focus on being gratitude. So what am I grateful for right now? Just shifts the energy from lack or nervousness to
Mm,
gratitude to the vibration that I
I love
have.
it.
It's just the
Oh
best
my god, I can
exercise
feel the
ever.
vibration. I'm
Yeah,
loving this. I love this.
this
It
was
feels so good.
this was like this is
I'm so
the trick.
grateful.
Like if anything, like I think that I could leave you with is just be grateful right now for what you have and make a really really tangible practice about being grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so much for
you.
being here. I know that you have a really special gift for the viewers. Can you tell us a little bit more about it and what it entails?
Yes. It's really exciting. It's actually an ebook. It's a really short ebook about 7 money blocks that might be holding you back from really creating coaching success or like business success in your life or money success, right? And these are the 7 blocks I've noticed because I've worked with so many women from all around the world, more than 20 countries, and I've noticed the same blocks, like all of these women have the same one, and I'm like, wow. So I've written down this report, really explaining each block and how what you can do to overcome these. You might go through and be like, I don't have this, I have this. And the ones you do have and resonate with, there'll be like clear action stuff that you can start taking and doing to clear that, to like shift that. So it's really cool. It's really fun. I'm really excited to share that actually with you guys because I know that it'll make a big difference in your lives to just start feeling better about money and doing those exercises in that ebook.
Definitely, it will. Like, I've seen it. It's really powerful. It's actually not that short. It's like 50 pages or
But
something.
yeah, 35. Yeah,
It's a
but you
lot
can
of
skim
pages.
on it. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I liked it because it's very in depth. Like, if you want to go deeper on, the talk that we were having today, definitely check it out.
Mhm.
I love
Yes.
the PDF. It's amazing, and I want to thank you again for sharing with you your time, your knowledge, and how truly important it is to really shift your money beliefs in order to grow in your life in general and in your business.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nicole. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you so
Always.
much. So I hope you have a great day and thank you for joining us. So that was
Yes.
it. I hope that you enjoyed it and I'll be seeing you soon. Take care.